Jack, the last heir of the Stars Chapter 2. The ghost of Erebus Station. 3 months had passed since the destruction of the Shadow Empire's fleet. The galaxy was slowly recovering. For the first time in years, thousands of trade routes had reopened, and the people of the frontier worlds finally began to believe that the war was over. But Jack couldn't find peace. Every night, the same dream haunted him. A dark corridor, a flickering red light, and a quiet whisper echoing through the darkness. "You've been here before." He always woke up drenched in cold sweat. The systems of the star beacon could not identify the origin of these visions. They weren't memories. They felt more like a warning. One morning, the star beacon's central terminal suddenly activated on its own. A short transmission appeared on the main screen. No sender, no origin, only a few seconds of heavily corrupted footage. The recording showed an enormous space station surrounded by a thick green nebula. Then a human figure appeared. The image constantly glitched with static. The man was breathing heavily. "If anyone finds this," he looked directly into the camera, "don't come here." Behind him came the sound of scraping metal. The man slowly turned. Pure terror spread across his face. The recording ended. Just before the screen went dark, a set of coordinates appeared, along with a single word. Erebus. The archives of the star beacon contained no record of such a station. It was as though Erebus had never existed. That was impossible. A station of that size would have appeared on at least one ancient navigation chart. But there was nothing. No files. No construction records. No crew manifests. No distress calls. Someone had erased Erebus from history, and that frightened Jack more than the message itself. 2 days later, his ship emerged from hyperspace. There it was, Erebus. It was far larger than the damaged transmission had suggested. Gigantic rotating rings surrounded its central core. Massive docking bays drifted in complete darkness. Thousands of windows stared into space like empty eyes. Not a single light was visible. Not a single communication signal. Yet Jack's scanners detected something impossible. The station's primary reactor was still running. "That's impossible," Jack whispered. "A reactor doesn't operate for a century without maintenance." Someone had to be there. Or something. The airlock opened with a long, grinding creak. Jack stepped inside slowly, his pulse quickening beneath his armor. The air was breathable. The temperature was normal. Gravity was fully operational. Everything appeared to be functioning. Yet the silence felt unnatural. Every footstep echoed endlessly through the deserted corridors. Tools lay scattered across the floor. Coffee mugs still sat on workstations. Computer terminals remained open, frozen in the middle of unfinished tasks. It looked as if the crew had simply vanished during an ordinary workday. There were no signs of panic, no bodies, no blood, no evidence of a struggle. They had simply disappeared. Jack knelt beside one of the workstations. The coffee inside the mug had long since evaporated. But something immediately caught his attention. There wasn't a single layer of dust. Not on the consoles. Not on the floor. Not even inside the ventilation grilles. According to every known record, Erebus had been abandoned for over a century. That should have been impossible. Someone, or something, had been here recently. A metallic sound echoed behind him. Footsteps. Jack spun instantly. The corridor was empty. His motion scanner showed nothing. No life signs. No movement. He waited. Silence. Then he continued walking. 3 steps. Another 3. Again. Footsteps. They perfectly matched his own. Except they came a second later, as though someone invisible was walking behind him, repeating every move. Jack stopped. The footsteps stopped. He moved again. So did they. Without warning, he switched off his flashlight. Darkness swallowed the corridor. The footsteps immediately ceased. Complete silence. Then, a whisper, barely audible, right beside his ear. "Jack." He snapped the flashlight back on. The corridor was empty. Nothing. No movement. No heat signatures. No sound. Yet someone had spoken his name. Further down the corridor, Jack noticed deep scratches carved into one of the metal walls. They looked as though someone had desperately tried to claw their way out. Hundreds of random marks covered the surface, but hidden among them were two carefully carved words. "Don't look." Jack frowned. "Don't look at what?" Before he could finish the sentence, every light in the corridor flickered, once, twice. Then they stabilized. His scanner suddenly emitted a sharp warning tone. For less than half a second, it detected another human presence. Standing directly behind him, Jack spun round. Nothing. The signal vanished, as though whoever had been there had never existed. Several minutes later, Jack reached the station's central command room. Rows of silent control consoles stretched across the chamber. Every screen was dark. Every system appeared lifeless, except for one terminal. As Jack approached, the monitor suddenly flickered to life. A woman's face appeared on the screen. She looked exhausted. Her eyes were red from crying. The recording was badly corrupted, her voice interrupted by bursts of static. "If you're seeing this," she whispered, "then Erebus has awakened again." Jack leaned closer. The woman struggled to continue. "We intercepted an unknown signal. We found an object drifting beyond the edge of map space. We believed it was abandoned." She closed her eyes. "We were wrong." The screen glitched violently. When the image stabilized, tears were running down her face. "It doesn't kill people. It copies them." The transmission ended. The room fell silent. Jack stared at the blank screen. "Copies them." He barely had time to process the words. A faint movement caught his eye through the large observation window. Overlooking the adjacent corridor, someone was walking outside. Slowly, calmly. Jack's hand immediately moved to his weapon. The figure stopped, then turned toward him. Jack froze. It was him. The same armor, the same height, the same scar above his right eye. Even the ancient medallion of Arcadia hung around the stranger's neck. Every detail was identical. The only difference was the smile. It was wrong. Too wide. Too calm. Almost inhuman. The figure continued staring at Jack without blinking. Then, the lights went out. Complete darkness swallowed the station. Jack drew his weapon and activated its tactical flashlight. The beam cut through the blackness. The corridor outside was empty. The figure had vanished. No footsteps. No sounds. Nothing. Only silence. A few seconds later, emergency power returned. Dim red lights filled the command center. Jack immediately looked back through the observation window. No one was there. He exhaled slowly. Then something made his blood run cold. Words had appeared on the inside of the glass, as if someone had written them with a finger from within the room itself. "He already knows you're here." Jack instinctively stepped backward. His motion scanner remained completely silent. There was no one else in the room. Yet the message hadn't been there seconds earlier. Someone, or something, had written it while he was standing alone. A cold chill ran down Jack's spine. For the first time since defeating the Shadow Empire, he realized he was facing an enemy that couldn't simply be defeated with weapons. The most terrifying part, he still had no idea what that enemy actually was. He cautiously stepped away from the observation window. The station remained silent. To silence. Then, without warning, every light aboard Erebus went out. Darkness swallowed the station once again. For several endless seconds, there was nothing. No sound. No movement. Only Jack's breathing echoed through the corridor. Then, every monitor aboard the station powered on at exactly the same moment. Hundreds. Thousands. Every screen displayed the same image. Jack's face. Not a recording. Not a photograph. It was looking directly at him. Watching him. The copies smiled. Then, in perfect unison, every screen spoke with Jack's own voice. "We've been waiting for you." The words echoed throughout the entire station. Again. And again. And again. Jack slowly stepped backward. His scanner remained silent. No life signs. No artificial intelligence detected. No known transmission frequencies. Nothing. according to every instrument he carried. He was completely alone, yet someone had just spoken to him, using his own face, his own voice. Suddenly, another message appeared across every screen. One sentence, one impossible question. Do you remember what happened here? Jack stared at the words. I've never been here before, he whispered. The screens flickered. The sentence vanished. A new one appeared. That's what they wanted you to believe. At that exact moment, a violent headache struck him. Images flashed through his mind. Only fragments. A corridor. Red emergency lights. Someone running. A child crying. A metal door slamming shut. Then, his own voice. No. This can't be real. The vision disappeared as quickly as it had come. Jack dropped to one knee, breathing heavily. What are you? No answer came. Only silence. Then, somewhere deep inside the station, a massive metal door slowly began to open. The sound echoed through Erebus like distant thunder. His scanner finally detected something. One signal. Unknown. Moving. Not toward him. Away from him. As if it wanted Jack to follow. He looked down the dark corridor. Every instinct told him to leave. To return to his ship. To destroy the station from orbit and never look back. But another feeling, stronger than fear, told him that whatever waited beyond that door held the answers to questions he had carried since childhood. Jack tightened his grip on his weapon, took a slow breath, and walked into the darkness. Behind him, every screen went black. The station fell silent once more, as if it had been waiting for him to take the first step. To be continued.